Aries, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late January 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aries collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's see what's going on here. My gods, talk to me. What do you got for us Rams in late January? What's going on? What's the vibe? And energies, messages, insights. Let's take a little look. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick peek at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aries gang. What's the vibe? Please, what's the energy going on around us here? In the late part of January, we're moving on into Aquarius season, beautiful time of year. I mean, I think most times of the year are pretty beautiful, depending on where you're at. Okay, we do have this hermit-like alchemist energy here, and I feel like this could be really good. I mean, it is pretty earthy, so for an Aries reading, I guess it depends on your situation. It could be a little still, but I usually think that this is a great card and energy for focus. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this individual. So as I mentioned, to me, I feel like it's very similar to the Hermit. So for a portion of you, if you're connected to a Virgo, this could be him chilling right here. And we see this alchemist. He has the alchemical symbol for the sun right on the third eye, which is very much illuminated. And what's he doing? He's focusing on that potion, that creation. This is a great card for manifesting and creating. So for a lot of Aries in this time, putting your intentions out there, getting things moving, getting things going, this is a really good vibe for that. Now, the fact that he is so focused on this potion, for a lot of you, there might be a situation that needs a little bit more of your focus. Maybe there's something where you should not focus on it as much. I guess it really depends on your situation. And for a small portion of you, yeah, maybe you're getting a little more attention than you normally are. You might have some eyes on you when this card is here. But I don't necessarily feel like this is a bad thing. It is very earthy, Virgo-y type of energy, so it's grounded, which for some Aries, that could be a little frustrating. So hopefully there's nothing that's frustrating you in this time. But I overall think that this is great and has a lot of potential. So we're just going to let him chill right there. You could keep looking at that potion. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Aries gang. Let's see what's happening. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled They Are Planning, and there was really, really strong strategic archetypes throughout the whole entire reading. So whether it was someone you're connected to in strategy plan mode, for a lot of us, I felt like for Aries, we might want to take a structured approach to something where it's like we need to outline it. We need to go step by step, be strategic in your approach to various different things, but there was a lot of strategy. So we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So when we take this, how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here in the upright. Before we get into that intuitive juiciness, let's go 3. What's up for Aries in late January? Okay. Little stress-induced energy there with that 9 of Swords. Okay. Again, it could be somebody else, but I mean, it could focus around sleep. Let's get a couple more out here. I don't want to say that this tanks the reading or anything like that. It's just on edge. Okay. Saw this a few weeks ago. Okay, we have the Sword of Truth. So there's a lot of air energy. And I will say this for us Aries, we work well with air energy normally. So this could be good for us. Let's get one more. Let's get one more out here. Thank you. Real quick. Wheel of Fortune, okay, all right. So it's intriguing how this energy flows because we have this very wound tight energy on the front end, but it all frees up as we get to the back end. So I kind of like what I'm seeing. I'm cautiously optimistic here. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. But at first glance, I already mentioned there's a lot of air element here. We have the 9 of Swords, we have the Ace of Swords, and the swords, air, represents the realm of thought. Your thought processes, strategy, like we were seeing last week. So it's your mind state, your mindset. These two are totally different. places, where one is like, yeah, let's go and cut into the truth of it. This other one's like stressing something out. So watch the mind. Don't psych yourself out or overthink things. But it could also be communication, talking, especially with the ace there. And then obviously we have the Wheel of Fortune on the back end, which can be really good and beneficial. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out, because I feel like there's a lot of nuance here. Position number one, and this could be the challenge of the reading, possibly. I don't want to go too far just yet, but we have this Nine of Swords. And I always say this card, you don't really need to be an expert in tarot to understand what it means. We see this individual, they're sitting up in bed, you got the face in the hands, they're stressing something out. Now, for a portion of Aries, make sure you're getting proper rest, relaxation. You might be having some insomnia type nights where you're up a little later than you should be. You could be even having funky dreams. This card does link a lot with sleep and the rest state. So you might be having vivid dreams or just funny dreams. So I would pay attention to those, especially if you're getting a lot of symbolism in them. But obviously, this is a card of stress. Again, it could be you or somebody else, but this is someone they're thinking. The mind is going. I saw that a few weeks ago in one of our readings. So there's a positive here. Okay, this card does link to paranormal. It does have a little bit of a mysterious archetype to it as well. Just know you might be extra sensitive to energies in this time. But generally, I see this as a possible situation or problem normally. But I feel like it's something that can be overcome depending on the clarifier too, because it does have some positives to it. Now, moving to the center, we have a totally different vibe. We have the Sword of Truth, whereas this one on the front end, it's like thinking all sorts of different scenarios. You see all the different swords. The Sword of Truth cuts right to the center of something. Now, all aces are great. They represent offers. They represent opportunities. They can deal with communication and talking. And when I see the Ace of Swords, I always say it's honest, it's straightforward, it's to the point. And if you know anything about astrology, Aries does get that reputation for being pretty blunt. So just know, like, you could be a little extra blunt, calling it like you see it. You might want to watch your tongue depending on the situation, which, I mean, that could be a weak point for some of us. Again, much love to my Aries gang, but I know we could let the words fly sometimes, and this card can most definitely represent that. But the positive aspect of this card, it's seeing things clearly. It's just calling it like it is. Very intelligent. And remember, I was saying there was like structure and planning last week. There's a lot of planning with this card too. But the challenge of the Ace of Swords, sometimes it could be cold. Sometimes it could be a little mean, a little nasty. And I also say with this card, you might be cutting certain things out of your life, whether it's people, whether it's behaviors, whether it's thought processes. So when I see these two cards together, Nine of Swords, Ace of Swords, I'm getting a vibe of like, I'm not even going to stress it anymore. Like, I'm not even going to think about it anymore. I'm just letting this go. I'm just not letting it bother me. That's a big vibe here, which can be good. So if there is a situation that's been really getting under your skin, you might just come to a decision to just say, you know what, screw it. I'm not even thinking about it no more. But we'll see more when we get the clarifier, because this could just be a talk. Now, moving to the back end, we have one of the most positive cards in the whole entire deck, the beautiful Wheel of Fortune. Now, this is Jupiter-like energy. I do link this to Sagittarius. I would say this is my four-leaf clover of the tarot deck. It's expansive, and with that Jupiter energy, it's a good luck charm. So for a lot of Aries, you might get a little lucky swing or lucky bounce, or something can bounce your way. Now, in the challenging aspect, this card can move really, really fast. Like the Wheel of Fortune, it's spinning, it's going. And I know as an Aries, I mean, we're not afraid of a little bit of speed or business picking up real quick for us. That can be good. It's just fast, it's sudden, it can also be unexpected. So whether it's a change, this does link into karmic archetypes, karmic cycles, and that's where the challenge could come with the Wheel of Fortune. It's just like super, super fast and expansive. So it's like something growing quickly. We're picking up steam really, really quick. So I feel like this is most definitely interesting. Now, a big challenge with this card as well could also represent feeling like a bit of a daredevil. So for us in this time, you might be a little more prone to take risks or just act in ways you might not normally. But I feel overall, especially this back end, we're looking at some positive vibes. So I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my Aries friends. Let's see what's happening. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Nine of Swords. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aries, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Nine of Swords time. What is happening? Why is it here? Thank you. Oop, that almost flew off the desk. Queen of Cups. Yeah, there could be a couple days where you just don't feel like yourself. I have the Queen of Cups in reverse underneath this Nine of Swords, so it's like mentally, emotionally, there could be just a couple days where you feel off. Now, I don't feel like for every single Aries the sky is falling, but yeah, this could all represent a serious issue or problem that someone's going through, because the Queen of Cups, if you're not connected to any water signs, because she can be Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, she represents the realm of emotion, feeling a lot of emotional depth with this card. And when she shows up in reverse, it's like I'm up and down, I'm up and down. So I do feel on the low end for a lot of Aries, there might just be a couple days where you just don't quite feel like yourself, or you're feeling a little bit off. For others, this could most definitely represent either a situation or a problem that needs to be tackled. However, with that being said, these energies that we have coming up feel very supportive to me. So if that is the case, I feel like, all right, we might get some relief as we move forward. So we're just going to leave that as is. And again, it could be somebody else. They might be acting a little funky or not as normal as they usually do. The energy just feels a little down to me. So we're just going to take it in stride, right? Let's just keep pushing. See what's going on here. Because it's like, yeah, mentally I'm a little off. Emotionally I'm a little off. But again, I don't feel like it's going to be the whole big stretch of time. I feel like this is something that can move through rather quickly. It just feels very up and down. So let's go in on the Ace of Swords. Let's see what's up with that. Because I feel like that could be where we have some clarity or a solution here. So why is the Ace of Swords here? Yeah, something could have you feeling out of your element too. Why's the Ace here? Thank you. Boom. Yeah, wow. Huge breakthrough energy here. Huge breakthrough energy. So I feel like whatever this issue is here on the front end, most definitely solvable, believe it or not. I guess it depends on what you're going through. But the Nine of Wands in reverse, it's like, I will not be denied. I will get through this. I will get over this. Now, that thing I said initially, right here in the front, for a lot of you, this can be just saying, you know what, screw it. So like you might get to a point with a situation where you're just like, screw it. I'm not letting this stress me. I'm not letting this control my emotions. I'm not going to let this drive my day downhill. So I'm not even going to think about it. It's like, it's not worth stressing over. So just take that for what it's worth. I feel like a lot of you could get to that point with what I'm seeing here in the center. But aside from that problem resolution mindset, when I see the Ace of Swords, conversation, Nine of Wands in reverse, like boom, this is fire-air combo. It's explosive. So for a lot of Aries, this could be an explosive talk or conversation where it's like, you know what, we've been needing to talk about this for a long time. Let's do it. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Or it could just be one where it's very fiery, a lot of back and forth. So keep that in mind. I think for most of you, this is very good. I feel for most Aries, this is really good, because if this Nine of Wands was in the upright, I'd be like, oh yeah, there's some communication issues. When it's in reverse, it's like, screw it. I'm saying it all, or I'm going to do it all. So I feel like if you don't have a filter normally, you're most definitely not going to have one. Like, I feel you definitely speaking your piece and calling things out. Let's keep moving. Again, it could be an explosive talk, like I said, but I also get the vibe of saying, you know, screw this. I'm not stressing this anymore. It's not helping me. Something's not serving me. It is what it is. Let's keep moving over to the Wheel of Fortune now. Let's see what's up with that. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So let's see what's happening. And again, I feel for the vast majority of us, this is a pretty positive layout. Okay? Because if there are any issues or problems that you're dealing with, it's like, I'm working through it. I'll get over it. I'll get through it quickly. So let's go in on that wheel. Let's see what's up with that. Where's the wheel here? Thank you. All right, this energy could possibly lash out a little bit, because this is the complete opposite of what I was seeing last week. So remember last week I said, yeah, there's planning and strategy and needing to work through a structure. This one is like, hell no, I will not. I will do what I want. So again, whether it's like spontaneous things or just doing things completely out of nowhere, like that's the vibe. Because the Two of Wands to me is a big card of planning, strategy, taking your time. Should I go left? Should I go right? To me, when it's in reverse, it's like, screw it. Whatever happens, happens. So like on the back end here, there is a big attitude of that. Now, if there is something you've been dealing with or working through for a long time, this could be a very good type of energy where it's like, I'm just going to go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever the universe wants is what will go down. But for some of you, this is very spontaneous. So again, it could be like unexpected situations popping up where you might act in certain ways or or unexpected actions even. I'm just getting very spontaneous vibes here. So if you've been having like a little cabin fever, if you've been feeling stuck in a rut or like Groundhog's Day or anything like that, when I get this combination here on the back, it's like, screw it. I'm just going to do what I want. It's just giving me that vibe here. Okay, so I feel it depends on your situation. But there's most definitely an energy of not stressing something or not stressing consequences too. So again, I mean, depending on your situation, this could be, I feel like for me, it's a good thing. How about you? But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. So overall, I feel like this is a more positive reading than not. There's just a lot of this spontaneous energy on the back end. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we are starting from a pretty wound tight type of energy. We have the 9 of Swords with the Queen of Cups here in reverse. So whether it's you or somebody else, like the energy just feels off. There might be a couple days where you're not quite feeling like yourself, or just someone you're connected to that might be acting a little funny. I also did say there could be problems in situations that you're working through with this, where it's like, all right, this is a bit of a drag. Moving to the center, this energy kind of gets disregarded because we have the Ace of Swords and the 9 of Wands in reverse. Like, yep, screw it. Not going to think about it. Not going to let it stress me. Whatever happens, happens. That's where this energy really starts to kick in. I can also see an explosive talk happening here with the fire-air combination, where it's like, you know what, I'm just going to let it rip. I'm going to say what I got to say. So just know you might not have a filter in this coming week. On to the back end, we have the Wheel of Fortune with the 2 of Wands in reverse. Unexpected actions, unexpected situations could be coming up, and it could also represent you testing your luck or just having a very spontaneous outlook. So just know, if you are feeling cabin fever, if you're feeling grounded or cornered in any sort of way, you might lash out in some different ways just to try to switch things up. Because like I'm kind of getting this vibe where it's like, this feels a little stale, this feels a little boring, I need to switch something up real quick. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. But if that's the case, just be careful, right? I mean, switch it up. Cool. That's awesome. Just be a little cautious about it. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. What do we got here for Aries, please? Guides, what's going on? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going. What do we have in the shadows for Aries, gang? Thank you. Nice and quick. 6 of Wands, good. This is a very confident type of energy. So if you have been feeling a little down and out or down on your luck, when I see the 6 of Wands in the shadows, it's like, all right, we're getting a burst of confidence here, which totally matches what I'm seeing here on the back end of this reading, where it's like, screw it. Whatever happens, happens. But I feel for a lot of you, there could be a good result that comes from it. So I do like this. Now, a challenge with the 6 of Wands, the shadow side of it. Yes, this is a big card of victory and attention, but at the same time, this card can be a little egotistical. So it could be about walking a fine balance. Now, if you have dealings with an individual that is very full of themselves or very egotistical, you might want to keep a bit of a distance, especially like if you're no filter and you're very spontaneous. There could be some clashes with people that rub you the wrong way when this card is here. But I do feel for the vast majority of Aries, it's like, all right, I'm going to get my groove back. So I feel like this is pretty good. So we're going to put that down right there, my beautiful friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details, the January subscriber surprise. If you would like to get a personal reading from me and get a little forecast for what 2025 has in store for you, you can check out my website and digital calendar at mastermetaphysics.com to look for availability. But for the January subscriber surprise, we are once again giving away 3 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what is your main goal for the 2025 calendar year? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab as usual, my friends. Much love, and I'll see you soon.